4:07 a.m., November 23, 2018, a huge rear-end pileup hit Shanghai Expressway's Yingzuishan Tunnel. 147 cars crashed there in under 2 kilometers. Later investigators found that all drivers said they saw, just before the crash, a woman in a red puffer on the tunnel's right side ahead, waving for help. Rescuers later found neatly folded old clothes, nobody's, on every back seat. Eagle Beak Tunnel, 3 kilometers long, November 2018, foggy Friday dawn. Tunnel wall reflectors filmed with moisture, fog hanging thick inside. First to report was truck driver Lao Chen on the scene. His truck's dash cam showed that at 4:05 a.m., a red figure was indeed standing on the emergency shoulder on the right side of the tunnel, its arm waving up and down mechanically, like a broken toy. The moment Lao Chen slowed down, the 13-ton trailer behind him had already crashed into him. Surveillance footage confirmed an even stranger phenomenon. In the 2 minutes between 4:05 and 4:07 a.m., nearly all vehicles in the tunnel lit up their brake lights simultaneously, as if they had received the same silent command. The collisions cascaded like dominoes, and the sound of twisting steel lasted for 7 minutes. The red figure stood in the distance the entire time. It wasn't until the first fire truck entered the tunnel that it abruptly vanished from the surveillance footage, not by leaving, but disappearing instantly, like a lost TV signal. 3 died, 11 hurt, still a miracle. The eerie part appeared as the wreckage was cleared during the cleanup. When rescue team member Lao Jiang pried open the 7th mangled car, he smelled a musty odor mixed with the scent of mothballs. Neatly folded on the back seat was a navy blue men's Zhongshan suit. The collar was embroidered with the faint words, 1987 labor protection. The owner was a girl in her 20s. She screamed, "These aren't my clothes. I've never had this in my car." This was just the beginning. When the 147th vehicle was towed out of the tunnel, statistics show every involved vehicle always had one extra garment on the back seat, in the trunk, or on rear floor mats. There were old-fashioned floral cotton jackets, faded work pants, discolored children's split crotch pants, and even a complete set of burial clothes. The clothes were generally styles from the 80s and 90s, clean and neatly folded, like carefully prepared gifts. The police initially suspected it was some kind of group prank or occult ritual, but the probe stalled. Tunnel entry-exit cameras showed that, in the prior 24 hours, nobody brought in bulky bags of clothes. No usable fingerprints were found on any of the clothing. More crucially, 147 drivers agreed. Each saw a woman in red waving, yet their detailed descriptions split wildly apart into frightening contradictions. Some said she had short hair and a round face. Others said she had long hair covering her face. Some say she carried plastic bag in left hand. Others say she held baby in right hand. The only thing they had in common was that every driver was certain the woman was staring straight at them at that moment. Her lips were moving, saying the same phrase. But when asked about the specific content, all the drivers suddenly became speechless, followed by severe headaches or temporary amnesia. Mole, flagged doubtful file lay there inside the accident dossier on November 23, 1992. Before Eagle Beak Mountain Tunnel opened, a crew performed final checks here. Before dawn that day, 3 remaining workers vanished. Only their neatly folded work uniforms were found in the tunnel's midsection. Folks say the tunnel had a small cave-in. Someone may have been buried, but the builders covered it up to open on time anyway. The date matched exactly, November 23rd. Detective Lao Lu wrote that line right there on the report's margin. He sought out the living foreman from that construction crew. The old man was senile, yet hearing Eagle Beak Mountain, he snapped awake at once, repeating, "Put the clothes away, or you can't get on the bus." A month later, some lightly injured drivers began showing lingering after effects of injuries. Every night, the truck driver, Lao Chen, dreamed that he was driving an empty truck, looping endlessly through the tunnel. There was always a person sitting in the rearview mirror, wearing the same pair of work pants found in his truck. The female car owner, Xiao Min, found an extra blurry photo in her phone's album. On the tunnel wall, besides the woman in red, there were countless pale white figures standing densely behind her, all in the posture of hailing a car with outstretched hands. The creepiest part was a detail in the accident investigation report, extrapolating from the vehicle collision data. The initial breaking point of the first car precisely coincided with the position where the woman in red was standing. But theoretically, the driver should have started braking much earlier, as if she wasn't by the roadside, but blinked into the lane right ahead, then instantly snapped back to the curb again. Tunnel reopened after 3 months of maintenance closure. On the day it opened, maintenance workers dug out a rusty 1987 model worker medal from a crack in the wall in the middle section of the tunnel. That night, the duty CCTV operator saw the screen flicker for seconds. When it cleared, a brief red afterimage appeared in the tunnel's right emergency pull-off, lasting only 3 frames on the recorded feed. The drivers once implicated slowly developed a tacit pact among themselves. Quietly, they never drive through the Eagle Beak mountain tunnel alone. If they have to pass through, they always put a piece of their old clothing on the back seat beforehand. Some say it's a tribute. Others say it's to save a seat, using a piece of clothing with an owner to tell certain things that this spot is already taken. During a heavy fog in the winter of 2021, a long-distance bus entered the Eagle Beak Mountain Tunnel at 4 in the morning. The driver later told the police that he saw a row of people standing on the right side. There were men and women, old and young, all wearing clothes from the 80s, waving at him in unison. He didn't stop, but through his rearview mirror, he saw that the people's arms didn't lower. Instead, they slowly turned towards the next car, like a group of passengers waiting for a shuttle bus, patiently and endlessly waiting for a vehicle willing to stop for them. Traffic police checked CCTV. The tunnel was totally empty, but the bus's dashcam footage showed that as it passed the middle section, the onboard audio recorder captured a faint sound of many people sighing softly at the same time. Then came a muffled but clear phrase, formed by many overlapping voices. "Take me home." At the same time the sound appeared, on an empty seat in the last row of the bus, a gray sweater left behind by someone unknown slowly collapsed on its own, forming a shape as if someone had just sat down. In the lowest drawer of the Eagle Beak Mountain Tunnel office files, the last page of the 2018 accident report had one extra red ink line, written in tiny script, handwriting that matched none of the staff who ever handled it there. Winter 1987, last train before tunnel collapse, 47 aboard, non-stop.